If you are 30 years, you have lived for 262,800 hours. And if you have 70 more years to live, you have 613,200 hours. It meant that for a lifespan of 100 years, you actually have a total of 876,000 hours. Can you imagine that? This is not up to a million hours. Wow. I am Gloria of The Complete You, and today we're going to be talking in time as life. Okay, if you are on this earth, you have time. Let me take that again. If you are currently on earth, you have time. If you do not have time at all, it meant that the person has stopped living. And if you hear someone say, oh, a dead man does not need time, or a dead man does not need wristwatch, yeah, because the dead man is no more governed by time. So as long as we are on this earth, we are subject to time. We do things in time. We become things tough in time. So we engage time on a daily, you see the word again, daily, consistent basis. And it's why everybody keeps clamoring for more time. I need more time. I want more time and all. Time is an equalizer regardless of who you are, what strata of life you are in, a baby, a mother, a father, a president, a doctor, whatever you are doing, you have 24 hours in a day. Amazing, right? God made it equal. So we all have 24 hours in a day, and it's so amazing. One of the most important resources currently on earth is time. Yeah, and in time, beautiful things can be birthed, beautiful things can be created, businesses can be created, trade can be learned, and even while we go to school, while we study in time. We do all of these things using time. So time is one of the most important resources, and it can also be likened to life. If I were to ask you currently how old you are, you probably would tell me I'm 30 years, I'm 40 years, I'm 50 years, regardless of how old you actually are. What you're telling me indirectly is, oh, I have lived for a certain number of hours, a certain number of days, a certain number of months, and a certain number of years. For consistency's sake, for simplicity's sake, we adopt measuring years, measuring birthdays, how long a person has stayed on earth in years. So, for example, for a 30-year-old somebody, lady A or lady B, with the person had lived in, let's do it together, let's do the math together. If there are 365 days in a year and there are 24 hours in a day, so 365 times multiplied by 24 hours will give us what? 8,760 hours. So it meant that we have 8,760 hours in a 365-day year. My goodness. So it meant that 2025, actually, we have 8,765 hours in 2025, and we are already in June. So it meant that we have used close to half of 8,760 hours in 2025. This will ultimately tell us and show us that when we measure life in years, we kind of really do not get the full picture of how long we have lived. For example, when you hear of 2025, or when you hear of 1 year, what comes to mind is a whole long year, right? But when we break it down and we really, really deep dive to how many hours do we have here? How many hours are we actually talking about? We discover that it's not actually as big as our mind is trying to paint. So somebody that is already 30 years old, the person had lived for 262,800 hours already on earth. And for a person that really wants to live long or wants to live up to 100 years, and you've already lived for 30 years, you have 70 more years to go. It means that you have 613,200 hours. It's no joke. It's no joke, guys. The hours are short. The hours are short. So I leave you with this. Number one, life is actually finite, not infinite. The years are exhaustible. The hours are not as long as we think they are when we see them in years. And this is also a good way to say, oh, can you, for a moment, start measuring your time in hours? Break them down to hours instead of looking at it from the, oh, I have 1 year for this, I have 2 years for this, I have 5 more years for this. Convert it to hours. Do the math and leave it in the, let me hear from you in the comment section. What are your times in hours? How long have you lived? How long have you, how old are you in hours? Amazing thing, right? How old are you in hours? Can I say it in the comment section? All right, and we am going to be talking more about how to maximize your time, how to get the best and the most from your time on this channel. So see you in my next video, and please like, subscribe, and share. This is a live business. Thank you.